What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I got something kind of fun for you today. So I started a channel 15 years ago. It was with an AOL account, and I don't remember how to get into it. I honestly don't remember I don't remember what AOL email I used. I don't know the password. I just know these videos are out there in the ether. Is that what you would call it? The ether of the internet? Either way, they're out there. So I figured, you know what? Let me take one of the series I did over there, working on this old Charvel CX290, and share it here. So to give you a little bit of a background, I had a small sandwich shop in Arizona. And I replied to a Craigslist ad for Charvel guitar project or whatever, $35. And it was spray painted in the most horrific way possible. Like, it even felt gross. Never mind. I mean, I guess the design is what it is. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I didn't. But I had grand delusions for this thing. We were gonna get a hockey stick, reverse headstock, maple on maple neck, and all kinds of stuff. And regardless, I ended up having that guitar up until about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I put a humbucker in it from when I worked over at Parker Guitars, one of the ones that were the original Night Flies. Great DiMaggio. It's kind of like a cross between the Tone Zone and the Super Distortion. Really great pickup if you have one of those early Night Flies. So regardless, the quality is shit because I did it on a BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry Pearl back then, a nice red one. They were giving those things away left and right. So I jumped on it and grabbed one because I thought I was a cool kid. So the quality's garbage, but I just figured it'd be a fun little curiosity for you to check out. 14, 15 years ago, me. Check out a guitar I used to have, the process I took in working on it. And mind you, this was over the course of however long. And at the end, I'll show you a few pictures of it that I posted just before selling it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, because that channel does have a few more decent projects. Alright guys, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Until next time, take care, keep it real, and bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
Hey YouTube, Vanner F13 here with this very first video. Sorry about the quality of it. I'm doing this all from my BlackBerry. I just found out now I could do it. I don't have a digital camera or anything like that. So I figured since I've had the account for a while, I might as well do something with it. And I originally got the account just to watch videos and just chat with people and what have you. And one of the dudes I was talking to a while back, his tag there is Ronald's Music Factory. I would definitely go see his page. See a lot of cool stuff out there. If you're watching this, bro, hey, what's up? Sorry I haven't been around, but you're going to see and hear a lot more from me, okay? And the reason I mention him is because I started watching his page when he started with a guitar project. It was an ESP LTD model, and he basically just tore this thing apart, sanded it down, painted it. Oh, the thing came out gorgeous, dude. You did an awesome job. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. But, I guess in lieu of that, or what have you, I decided to document one of my own guitar projects that I just picked up. So why don't I just shut this off for a second, I'll get to it, and I'll show you what we're doing here. Alright, what we got here is a Charvel from the early 90s, probably early to mid 90s. It's the CX models. I'm not sure if any of you remember them, but you can basically buy this exact guitar, which is different pickup configurations. They don't go for much on eBay. They don't go for much anywhere else. They didn't even go for that much brand new. They weren't the greatest guitars, but they weren't bad either. As long as you set them up properly. They were okay. They were pretty good. I didn't like them then, but I picked this one up for $30 off of Craigslist. And when I picked it up, it was in pieces, literally. All the hardware was in a baggie. The neck was not on the body. Excuse me. The pickups were in the pick guard, but I took them out because they didn't have all the screws in there and everything. So what I basically did was I brought it home a couple weeks ago, locked it up, and it's just been sitting there like that now. Locked it up. I just wanted to make sure the neck was straight and everything was jiving. The body was mainly what I was after, but since the neck is a decent neck, I'm going to go with that instead of getting something off like Warmoth or what have you. I mean, you can see this guy pretty much took this thing and beat the hell out of it. He spray painted the Jesus out of it here, and Didn't do a very good job, but, you know, whatever. And to each their own. That's why this is the guy that make it 31 flavors, right? And that's it. I mean, the only thing I think I'm going to have to replace by necessity is the nut. I think he tried to replace it to lower the action. He cut it way too low, and there's a lot of fret buzz. So I'm going to replace that. I think I'm going to replace the pick guard. Depending on what color I go with, I might get a white pearl or a black pearl pick guard. And I might just go with 2 humbuckers instead of the single coils on the humbucker. Not too sure yet on that. And I may even down the road swap this out for some kind of a Floyd Rose thing. Nothing heavy. I'm not going to buy a real Floyd Rose to put on something like this. But if I can find one cheap online, shit, why not, right? So there you have it. That's the Charvel. And next time I come back on, you're probably going to just see it in pieces. We'll talk a little bit more about it, and then I'll sign off. All right. All right, guys. I'm sorry this has to be cut up into multiple videos. I'm not really sure how to not do that, but here it is all taken apart. It took me about 33 seconds. There's the big baggie of parts. I got old parts, new parts, and some of the pickups. Even paint on the pickups. What a goof. But they're in there. Everything's in there on top of some other stuff that I had in my little collection. And that's my little box of tricks. Let me just show that to you real quick. It's just parts, and more parts. I got pickups, I got more pickups, pots, tuners, valve stems that look like skulls, shit like that. So there you have it. I'm going to leave this one short. Let me show you the body a little more. There we go. There's a little more paint. Yeah. Oh, here. Here's something to show you. If you can even see it. See these 2 little dots here? It's where the spring claws that go into here and went through the body. God bless overseas craftsmanship, right? Well, that's it. I'm off to go sand this fucker. Again, I want to give a shout out to Ronald's Music Factory, dude. I hope you're checking this out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Hey YouTube, Vanner F13 here. Another update on the Charvel, but first, this video is dedicated to thrash metal, and this DVD here, the story of thrash metal getting thrashed. I grew up in the early to mid 80s, mostly. That's where most of my influences come from. I mean, obviously I'm diverse now, but thrash metal is the reason I started playing guitar to begin with. If you're a fan of thrash metal, early thrash metal, even if you think it's that's old shit, this is a great DVD to get. It's hours and hours of just really cool stuff. It just gives you the history of how it progressed and everything. And there's modern artists, there's old artists, there's classic artists, anything you can think of. And if you're into any kind of metal and don't know a lot about the early 80s thrash movement, definitely try to find this at your local DVD place. It's worth the $18 or whatever it is I paid. Great video. Now on to the guitar itself. You have to excuse me, I'm in my closet. It's Thanksgiving Day 2009, and there's 3,000 people here. And why am I doing this right now? I don't know, but I chose to do this right now, so this is when you're getting it. I probably won't be posted for another couple weeks anyway, because my computer's out for repair, but that's that. So what I've chosen to do here, rather than videotape every little step, I figure most of you know what wood looks like after you've sanded it down. So that's what I did. I sanded it down on my workbench, found a few nicks here and there, filled them in, sanded it down, sealed the wood, sanded it down, and after about maybe 2 weeks of just doing nothing but sanding, I finally primed it. After priming it, guess what? I sanded it down. I gave it a couple coats of prime, flat sanded it, gave it another couple coats. This is probably the only area I taped off because I don't want any thickness accruing in here for the neck. So that's that. I mean, here's the back of a primed guitar body, because you really need to know what that looked like. Now, as far as the color, I fought back and forth. There was a couple of colors I found. There was a nice metallic blue, which I thought would have been cliche, but still looked nice. Then I was going to go with this burnt orange that you see on vehicles these days. I couldn't find one that I really liked, and so I reverted back to red. I mean, this guitar is basically, and I don't know if I mentioned this, it's going to be like my 80s tribute guitar. Big fan of the old Charvels. This definitely isn't one of those, but huge fan of Kramers, even though I wasn't a hairband kind of guy, but Kramers were some of my first guitars. And if you ask me 80s metal, I'd say a Kramer guitar and a PV amp. I mean, that's what everybody had, at least at home. I know Marshall was a huge part of it, but at home, everyone had their PV combos. I still have mine. You guys will eventually see that. And that's that. So I decided to go with this berry red. It's like a real deep, dark red. I'd show you the can and everything, but it's outside. And I got a ton of people out there gobbling turkey and yucking it up over some spiced eggnog and blah, 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 blah. I don't really want to deal with that right now. So I came in here into my little closet to put this up for you guys. So next video you're going to see is probably either me spraying it or it already sprayed and me getting ready to clear and wet sand it and what have you. As far as hardware, I don't have any update on that yet. I haven't ordered anything. I just started a new job tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'm going to be working for Amazon.com of all companies. Where and what capacity? Of course, I'm not going to publish that here. But long story short, I'm going to wait for that to get going. Then I'm going to order the bridge. And I'm probably going to order a new neck. I'm not too sure yet. I experimented with the other neck. I scalped a few of the frets. It came out okay. It came out all right. I'd show it to you, but that's in another room. And the reason behind that is basically I figured if I was going to buy a new neck anyway, I might as well experiment. And if that came out good, I just use that one. But there it is. 4.5 minutes of just staring at a guitar body. See you guys later. Happy Thanksgiving. And if I don't get back on here in time, happy holidays. Hope everyone's safe. And Happy New Year. Blah, blah, blah. This is Vanner F13 signing out. Bye-bye. What's up, YouTube? Hey, this is Vanner F13 here. I'm super, super fucking excited. Sorry about the language if, your mom's in the room or whatever. I promise not to post video on every little step of the way, but I had to post this one to show off something here real quick. Now, mind you, this is what I used to paint the guitar with. And I guess what I'm doing with this video is proving that if you do it right, you can get excellent results on the cheap. This can was $4. I got 2 of them. This one's almost empty. This is the Valspar. It's a berry color. Almost like flavor, like I'm going to eat this shit, right? Yeah, I mean, you do it right, and you get good results. You can't really see what the color is, because, again, I'm using my cell phone, and I'm too cheap to go out and get an actual digital camera that'll do this properly. Maybe someday, who knows? Maybe if I really get into this YouTube stuff. But, I mean, if you can see, let me get into the light here. It's smooth. It's kind of glossy. I haven't even put any clear on this yet. What I've just been doing is treating this like I would any other guitar with the proper equipment. I've been, excuse me, I get the hiccups now. A couple of good coats, flat sanding it, brushing, blowing it off with some air, and then repeating that process for about 4 or 5 coats. And then I wet sanded it down to about 1200 grit. If you don't know much about wet sanding, I'll explain that more later as I clear it. If you can't wait that long, go to Ronald's Music Factory. He's got an excellent video on there. It's kind of a tutorial. I think it's called Why to Wet Sand. I don't remember exactly what it was called. But you'll find it in there. It's in his ESP guitar project that he'd done. But wet sanding does wonders for paint jobs, especially when you start clear coating. And the idea behind that is with rattle can or with any kind of paint, really, you get these little bumps, and you all know that if you've ever painted before. And what that does is you just lightly go over the top, barely touching it, and it just kind of smooths off those bumps. It levels them down to the main finish, I guess you would call it, and just makes everything flat. Now, I know I shouldn't do this. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to punch myself later for it, but it makes everything smooth and glassy. And again, there's no clear in this. Just rattle can, and it's proof that you can do things on the cheap and get excellent results. Excellent. I'm not saying this is a 100% professional paint job, But when it's done, I guarantee no one will really notice unless they really examine the body deep. And just a few things here and there. I didn't prep the wood the greatest. I mean, there's a few little dings that I overlooked. I'm not stressing it. Paid $30 for the guitar. And so far, I only have about maybe $20 into it. And I'm already pleased. Now it's just a matter of whether or not I want to buy a new neck for it, which I do. I want a maple fretboard for this because I think the maple on the red body will look awesome. Pickguard wise, I put the white pickguard that the guitar came with on it, and I thought that looked classy as hell. So maybe I'll go with the white pearl. I've done the black pearl over red, and I think that looks awesome. I don't know if I should focus on the look so much anymore now that it's painted. It's going to be my thrash metal tribute. I mean, it's a Charvel. It's not the Charvel that, you know, would have had back then, but single humbucker. Probably wired directly to the jack. I might not even put a volume in it. I don't know. I mean, I got all that space to do all kinds of cool wiring. Maybe I'll put 80,000 pickups in it and wire them in all kinds of weird distorted ways and just have a whole bunch of little buttons going up and down. Who knows? I mean, you can do anything you want. But I guess that's about it. This little quick video showing you the paint job is turning into a 5-minute deal, so just kind of wrap it up. Again, Rollins Music Factory, good guy. Sorry I keep mentioning him. Pimping him out. He's a great guy. He's the one who got me motivated to do all this stuff. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's a good guy. Go check him out. He's got a whole bunch of good stuff over there. He's got smokers. He's got chili. He's got treats from other countries that people are sending him that he's describing. Of course, guitar, music, bluegrass. He's doing a lot of really cool bluegrass stuff. Go check him out. He's a good guy. Tell him I sent you. All right? And I guess that's it, guys. Look at it. Ooh, see if we can. Bye. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a great holiday. If I'm not on here in time for that, this is probably going to get uploaded after the holidays anyway. But if I did, I hope you guys had a safe one and a fun one, of course. Just remember, holidays don't take vacation, so... Or said, shit, that was dumb. Accidents don't take vacation, so be safe. Jesus. Okay, bye-bye. Hey guys, just a few updates on the paint here. Came across a few issues. First off, and I don't know if you can see this. It's that right there, that bubble. There's a bunch of little chicken pox all over it. What had happened was when I was storing it to, you know, keep it away from everything, something fell on it. And right about there was a big kind of ding in the paint, not into the wood though, thank God. And earlier I'd mentioned that there's a few spots I'd missed. So what I did basically was, well here, let me show you. And anyone who's painted, you know, this may or may not be the right technique or not. What I did is I sprayed some of the color into a cup like this. And traditionally this is done with a toothpick, but all I had around with these Q-tips. And what you do is you just dab it into like the little dimples. Yeah, you can't really see it with this phone because the camera sucks on it. There we go. And you just make sure it's sticking up and out like a little nipple.
Did you see it?
And then when you flat sand, before you wet sand, you can smooth it out like you would, say, a run or something like that. So and then I hit the face with another coat just for shits and giggles to give me something to actually work with when I wet sand and I have to hit this stuff. So that's that. Another update. I'm walking around here like an idiot. Chose to do that. And then I chose to do that. See, rather than paint the whole neck, which I can't stand. I don't like the feeling of a painted neck. You know, if you do, that's fine. That's awesome. But I taped off the edges. And I taped off the rest of the headstock, the rest of the neck. You know, painted the headstock front and back. And it's probably not going to be perfect, but there's like that little curve there that I taped off. I got the best I could. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect when I peel this all apart, but that's that. I mean, yeah, I decided to went with a different direction. Hey, look at that. Okay, great. One of the things I was thinking about was, money. And right now it's kind of tight. I'm sure it is everywhere else. And excuse me, I'm coming off the last end of a cold and air infection, so I'm not too enthusiastic as I normally am. But I figured, why spend all the money on this guitar? I mean, the purpose of this thing was to build something on the cheap. I paid $30 for the guitar. All the parts on it were good. I wasn't a big fan of the pickups or anything like that, but what the hell? I have other pickups. I got a DiMarzio pickup that I got when I was working at Parker Guitars. It was a second because there was a little bubbling on the side of the bobbin tape because of a bunched up wire. I don't care. I've had it on other guitars. It sounds good. It's like a cross. They based off of the Tone Zone. It's what they put on the original Night Flies for the bridge pickup. Yeah, so I'm going to use that for the bridge, and I'm just going to use the 2 single coils for the that came with the guitar. I'm not going to change the pickguard. I'm going to use the white one. Again, to save money and time. I mean, I got all the parts here. They all work fine. If anything, the neck, the frets again just need some leveling and filing, and I know I need a new nut because that nut's too small. It's not tall enough to do its thing properly and not create dead notes and buzz. But that's basically it. I got only one last thing, I didn't bring it with me when I walked over to the wall. Let me get it. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I just mentioned I'm going to use the pick guard. And I'll show it to you real quick here. Yeah, see, it still has a little bit of tape. What I did, I wet sanded this thing down. It had a few scalps from years of markings with a pick, and, it did its job. It was a pick and guard. And what I think I'm going to do with this, luckily, the single coils that came with it were white. The pickup rings, or covers rather, are white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime this pick guard off. This is going to sound a little odd at first, I'm sure. And then I'm going to put just the pickup covers in the 2 single coil spots after priming those. And I got a buddy of mine who's a phenomenal artist. He's done tattoo work on me. He did my Jason tattoo, which I'm sure you guys will eventually see because Jason Voorhees is another one of my passions. I love 80s slasher films, but Jason just seems to be the one I gravitated towards. He did a Dawn of the Dead tattoo on me, on my bicep. But I'm going to give this to him primed, and he's going to give it back to me, and it's just going to have something sick on it. I don't even care what. I'm not going to give him any direction. I'm going to give him one of the caps so he knows what color the guitar body is. And just tell him, dude, you know me. You know what I'm into. Let's do something sick, something cool. So that's where we stand there. Yeah, again, sorry. I'm trying to get rid of this damn cold. But I just did some more work on the guitar, and all I really need is to clear. And as far as the other parts, I'm not going to use them. I was going to go nuts, buy a new neck for this thing, new bridge, do all black or gold hardware and all that crap, but nah. It completely defeats the purpose of what this guitar was all about. It was about doing something on the cheap, under a couple $100. I never set a budget for it, but when you buy something like this on the fly, you don't really think at first. You say, it's $30. I bet you can get that thing going, and then you just go with it. And sometimes you go crazy, and sometimes you're practical, and that's what I need to do with this one. I need to be practical, use what I got, and only spend on absolute necessaries. So, and that's that. So, until next time, guys. Hope everyone's cool, and hope everyone's safe, hope everyone's having a good time. And this is Van RF13 signing off again. Bye-bye. Hey guys, just another quick update on the Charvel. Got 2 things done here, and it's probably going to be the last of it for this week, only because, see that? Figures I'm just about done with the body clear and all that crap. And Arizona decides to have rain for once in the past 12 years. So all week's supposedly going to be rainy, and we got some thunder already today. But so I'm here in my room watching Day of the Dead, one of my favorite zombie films. My opinion, the best of the Romero series. A lot of debate on that. I'm not going to have that here. That's my personal preference. But let me show you what we got going on here. All right, headstock has been cleared over, and I added a logo. It's a rough version of one I used to have. I used to have water transfers and actual vinyl decals for headstocks, which hardly ever got used because I never really, used them. But all I did here was after I painted and wet sanded down, I taped out the headstock again. I had my girlfriend just draw this up real quick. I cut out with a hobby knife. Painted, it's basically just tapping it, boom, 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 with paint. Let that dry. Used a hobby knife to cut out the paper or the tape, and that was that. And then I cleared the hell out of it. It was probably about 3/4 of a can by itself, just here, and the rest of it back here. Yes, I did sand that down. I didn't like the way it looked, and that wasn't crisp enough, that line that we had there. And it was just, I was just playing around. That's the great thing about guitars that only cost $30, $40. When you're playing around with them, you can experiment, and I did. I didn't like the way it came out. So I sanded the entire neck down, and I just cleared that area, left that little pinch there. I guess some people call it a stinger. Generally, it's done with paint, but I did it with clear. And I gotta wait about a week or so before I can wet sand this, only because of the weather. It's kind of moist out. So I just want to make sure it cures good enough. And it needs it, see? Even the logo's a little three-dimensional, and that's okay. I'm not stressing this. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's coming out so far. Ooh, shiny. Even the tape is shiny. All right, pickguard. Now, I had mentioned before, sorry about all that, what I was going to do is I was going to prime the other side of this, hand it to a friend of mine, and let him go nuts. But between my being impatient and you, if you have any artist friends, you know what I'm talking about, I could probably give him this pickguard today and probably won't see it for 3 months. Artists kind of work that way, and that's okay. Sometimes that's the way it has to happen. So what I ended up doing was this. I'll try and get a close-up of it here in a second, but just stare at it for a minute. Go, ooh, yeah. All that really is we have a habit here of finding really cool pictures online and printing them out and using them for some kind of art project, whether we just frame it or use it for stuff like that. This particular one was kind of a pinup girl / Coca-Cola thing. She had a big Coca-Cola thing here. She had a Coke, and there was a hand over here somewhere, and she was holding a bottle of Coke. And the reason I kept it was originally for a friend of ours that was doing their kitchen over in Coca-Cola theme, because that's what she collects. But I'm a big fan of pinups, and she just seems sexy as hell, and she's kind of evil, almost like not an Elvira, but what was that, Vampiria, or whatever the hell her name is. So we kept this one, and it was laminated on top of being printed on high-quality gloss paper. And it just so happened that we were going through that stuff, and I said, hey, I wonder what that would look like. So I did. I took some spray adhesive, which, mind you, I've never used before, and we'll get to that in a second. Sprayed the back of her, let it tack up a little bit, sprayed the pickguard, aimed it at the light so I knew what was going on with it, put it in a position I thought was good, and boom. I think it came out perfect, the way she's just kind of laying at this angle. Looks kind of cool. The dress matches the paint job, as does the outline. Yes, I love some of the shading of the outline. This is the only area I wasn't too pleased with. This area makes it look like there's a sticker on it, but I can get over that. The rest of it came out really good. It cut real clean in there. One word of advice, if you choose this technique, practice with spray glue. I did not know it comes out frothy and foamy, and ended up all over the pickguard. And I panicked for a while thinking, oh my god, my pickguard's ruined. There was this gluey shit everywhere, and it turns out that we had a ball of the stuff called Dissolve It. Didn't know it was here, but thank God it was. Just a couple little squirts, you work it in, and you can just wipe it off. And then what I do is I just took a dry cloth and wiped off the oils, and then that was that. And she's on there, and it's on there, and punched all the holes for it best I could. Doesn't matter because most of these are going to get covered with screws and pots and all that crap. That's it. That's the progress so far. So since I'm not really going to have much here for at least another week or so, thought it'd be fun just to mock up the guitar real quick. Let me get the body. Alright, now mind you, this has no clear. It's just been flat and wet sanded. It's waiting for clear. So this will do this. Oh yeah. The big unveiling. Well, the pseudo unveiling. And the neck. No, I'm not going to take the paper off of the neck just yet. I'm going to wait for the clear to do its thing. Alright, line up those holes. Yeah. Now she's coming along. Stand up on the bed without breaking my neck. But yep, that's where we stand. See if I can get in there. I think that looks bad ass. Let me know what you think. Alright guys. Yeah, sorry, I just can't stop looking at it. Alright guys, that's it for now. The irony of all this is by the time these get uploaded, the guitar's probably going to be done, and you're going to go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and it's going to seem, boom, it's done. But no, it's taken weeks and months for this to be realized, but that's just how it goes. So, you know, for you it's going to seem kind of silly, but until next time, guys, bye-bye.